And finally, Steven Spielberg speaks to NDTV about what it's been like shooting in India. He also says he'd like to make a universal movie, but with an Indian director and an Indian scriptwriter.
You've done both. You made big blockbusters with big stars, and you made big blockbusters with no stars, just with animation and technology. You see India being able to challenge the star system? Can you make a big hit in India without any of the top 5 or top 6?
I think that's a question that you're much more qualified to answer than I am, because I'm not in the middle of the film industry here in India.
But your own experience.
I can only speak about my experience in the States.
Because you've done both successfully.
And I have found that the most important star is the story you're telling. Not who you put in the story, but the story you're telling. There are some notable exceptions. I had a great story about Abraham Lincoln.
Yes.
But that film would never have been made if it hadn't been for the great performance of Daniel Day-Lewis. So that's an exception to that rule.
You know, my old professor in the US, Steve Cohen, he used to tell us a joke, which was also a bit of a lesson to us. He used to say that a budding novelist, you can make a filmmaker, you can call him a filmmaker, went to ask people, what's the most popular subject to write a novel on? So he was told 3 subjects: Abraham Lincoln, doctors, and dogs. So he wrote a novel about Abraham Lincoln's doctor's dog. So that's how sometimes films are made, that you see what works these days.
That's right.
Particularly in India, dream sequence works, or separated at birth works,
right.
or good cop, bad cop.
The experiment that I'd like to conduct someday is to take an American movie and take a movie that we make in America and take that same film and remake the film in India. And take that same story, which we feel is an international story,
right,
could be enjoyed by every country on the planet, and remake that same story with Indian director and an Indian screenwriter to do the necessary adaptation and an entire Indian cast.